If this works, kind of. We're gonna see if this works. My PC's acting crazy. Hopefully you can hear me. I guess I should test it. I should see, because we still got a couple minutes here until the press conference starts in, well, 6 minutes actually, so very short amount of time. Let's see. Let me make sure you can hear me. All right, good. Thanks, Gerald. Welcome back, Gerald. It's been a while. Whew. All right. Well, we got 5 minutes until we announce Rudy Gobert. I'm getting all my cameras and everything ready. Sorry, I should have done this beforehand. There we go. How are we feeling? How are we feeling about Rudy Gobert? How are we feeling about... I saw that, what was it? Vando was maybe upset / joking, maybe both, about getting his own post or something like that by the Timberwolves Twitter, so... Hopefully he wasn't too serious about that, because that would suck. But yeah, welcome. If you're new here, if you're watching this as a VOD, we do this after every Timberwolves game. Usually me and Ashwin. I think Ashwin's at work right now. I'm not at work during Wednesdays and Thursdays, so I can hop on here for random things that happen on Wednesdays and Thursdays. But we do this after every Timberwolves game. It's going to be... I don't know, just watch the press conference. Any crazy reactions, if he says anything wild, we'll react to that. But I would assume this is probably going to be pretty standard, but who knows? I'm totally okay with letting them vent. Sucks to be any three of those guys. Yeah, that's the thing that I kind of think too. You know, you're getting traded, so obviously it's not like, as a fan, you view it as like, okay, how does this affect my team? How does it affect the Jazz? Whatever. But really, these people, these guys are moving and living in a different place and having different fans. You know, they built up fans here, especially Pat Bev and Vando. I mean, being such a huge part of everything that we did, it does feels bad. But hey, you know, what happens? What happens in the league, and obviously Pat Bev knows about that, so that's not like some surprise. But still, it's not fun for people to go through. Momo, welcome. Getting everybody back here. Utah ain't that bad. No, honestly, that's the thing I think people need to understand, is that, like, what Utah got in this trade is good, because they got players that can play now. And yeah, you know, they've got a ton of draft picks now, even though they hopefully will be late draft picks. But yeah, Aston, welcome back. It's good to see everybody again. Welcome. Starting soon. I think it's starting in 3 minutes. I've got it up in the background here. I'm just making sure that it doesn't happen while we're doing that. We are back. Yes, we are, Jelson. Welcome back. Shout out, Jelson. Got your own podcast. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Something about North, I think. But plug it in the chat if it'll let you. But if they flipped our draft picks +2 of their own for KD, yeah, see, there's a part of me that thinks that they probably are in the best position to get KD, but I don't know if they're going to do that. So, they have a lot of equity now, though. They can do things, which should be, I mean, that should be really fun for them. So, we shall see. I don't think it's gone live yet. Nope. Okay. We're still good. Getting everything ready here. We should be good in 2 minutes. 2 minutes is when it's happening. They usually don't go early, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's a little late. But we will see. Making sure I have all the different links up just in case. Wolves of the North on Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Yes. Shout out. And if you're new here, subscribe. We do shows after every single game. You know, whether I'm at the game or not, we are live afterwards talking about it for usually an hour or two. I bet the Nets would have given us KD for what we gave up Rudy. We did give up a lot. I don't know, though, because I saw reports come out today saying that they didn't want Mikal Bridges, they didn't want DeAndre Ayton, and then Cam Johnson, and 5 picks. Like, that's a lot of stuff. And quality stuff. I mean, I'm a big DeAndre Ayton fan, and I'm also a big Mikal Bridges fan. So if they're not comfortable with that, like, I don't know, maybe Timberwolves draft picks are a little bit more valuable to teams, but yeah, Momo, they want a star. The Nets are trying to finesse Chelsea. I do think that is fine. Like, that's a pretty good. If they're willing to give up that much, that's a lot. You know, obviously they're not going to give up Booker. They're not going to give up CP. That's the whole point is to have all 3 of them. So, Momo, I would say, you guys know I'm not the biggest Cat fan, but I would definitely have given up Cat for KD, even if it wasn't a certain thing. I don't know. I feel like you just do that, but maybe not. Maybe not. I really do believe that we can get our draft pick back if we want to. And yeah, no, Aston, 100%. That's the thing that I keep, as I sleep on it every night. I'm like, we can get draft picks. We can trade Towns. We can trade, I mean, D'Lo we've only got for another year. But like, we've got Jaden even. You know, we've got the ability to do it. And Towns, if we really needed to, if we were really bad, we're trading Towns, right? We're not trading somebody else. We're going to trade Towns and build around Ant and Jaden. And we can get draft picks for that. Also, we have our picks every other year. It's not like we don't have picks. So, yeah, if it would have been Cat and 5 first, so maybe I might still do that. But it sucks we didn't get Tyus. I was weirdly wanting Tyus, even though I don't like Tyus either. I'm just the weirdest Minnesota fan. But yeah, I don't know. Refresh. I got to make sure this is working, because it should be happening here soon. Not happening yet. And sorry if the audio just starts. If you're new, subscribe. I'm telling you. I don't know if your name will show up on the screen. Let me see if this still works. Doing an old one. Hey, it does. Maybe. I might have just broken everything, though. We'll see. Oh, it's happening. Okay, let's get to it. It's going to come up here shortly, I think. Film. There we go.
Timberwolves and the Timberwolves Radio
Network. Can you guys hear?
And those of you joining us today via Zoom. We're excited to welcome the newest addition to the Twin Cities and the Timberwolves family. Earlier today, the Wolves made it official, announcing the acquisition of All-NBA center Rudy Gobert. Rudy comes to Minnesota as one of the most decorated big men in recent NBA history, a 3-time Kia NBA Defensive Player of the Year, 6-time All-Defensive First-Team Selection, 4 times All-NBA, and a 3-time All-Star. A native of Saint-Quentin in France, Rudy has played the last 2 Olympics for the French national team, leading them to a silver medal in the 2020 Olympic Games in Tokyo. With the Utah Jazz last season, Rudy averaged 16 points a game on a career-best 71% shooting, which led the NBA. His 15 rebounds per game also led the NBA and also were a career best, and his 2.1 blocks per game marked the 8th consecutive year that he's averaged 2 or more blocks per game. Along with Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards, D'Angelo Russell, Jaden McDaniels, plus new additions in Kyle Anderson and Bryn Forbes, the acquisition of Rudy Gobert gives the Wolves a deep and talented roster heading into the upcoming season. To tip off today's press conference, we'll get some words from Tim Conley, Timberwolves President of Basketball Operations, Chris Finch, Timberwolves head coach. Then we'll hear from Rudy, and then open it up to questions from the assembled media. Tim?
Thanks for coming out, especially the Boys and Girls Club. You guys look great. The tunnel was awesome. Super exciting day for the organization. It's not often you get a player of Rudy's caliber and more importantly, a person of Rudy's caliber. This industry is about relationships and about kind of knowing what you're going to get. And this guy is about as good as it gets as a professional. His work ethic is second to none. His desire to win is elite, and to add him to an already strong young core is a really special day. I also want to thank the guys. Anytime you make a trade, you have to give to get, and we lost some really good players. Pat Beverly brought a huge culture boost to this team. He's fantastic. Jared Vanderbilt's one of the best young power forwards in the league. Malik Beasley, what he can do and how important he was to this team. And Balmero was a good young player. And certainly Kessler, we're here a week ago doing his press conference, but it's the nature of this game. Sometimes you have to give good players good players. So thanks for those guys for all the contributions they made. Just tremendously excited when his name first popped up. It seemed more of a dream than a reality. And as the discussions ramped up and we thought there was a chance we could add Rudy, the excitement level collectively for Chris and the front office and throughout the entire organization was kind of, wow, we can get this done. We got to get it done. So thank you for being who you are as a professional. Thank you for being so excited to be here. I think that's a really cool part of this whole day. Rudy's excited to be a Timberwolf. He's excited to be a resident of Minnesota. And, this is a really special day. So thanks.
Chris?
Yeah, I'd also like to welcome everybody and thank Rudy. I think, he's the perfect fit at the perfect time for our organization. It's not often you get a chance to add somebody who brings such a level of professionalism, maturity, and experience alongside a young core who fits seamlessly into what we need and what we need most. And I know the excitement is building among the teammates in the group chat, and the relationship between Carl and Anthony and D'Lo and those guys are only going to get stronger and stronger. It's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be fun to nurture. But we needed to do something. We felt that yet last year we laid a great foundation. We didn't want to go backwards from it. We got to have a guy who comes in here and is able to impact both ends of the floor. And just, again, fits seamlessly alongside what we already have and brings a maturity and a professionalism and an approach and an experience and a worldliness that a young team really needs is something that I'm very excited to start to see grow and grow.
Rudy?
I'm just really excited to be here. I mean, thank you, team, for believing in me and putting me in this amazing situation. I want to win, and when Buna told me 3 days before the trade, Buna is my agent, he told me that team in Minnesota was interested. I told him that I needed 1 or 2 days to think about it, and after 1 day I came back to him and I told him that it was probably the best, the most exciting situation in terms of basketball for me, and and a day later the trade happened. So I'm just excited to do some great work with the community, excited to, I think this city has some great fans because I've seen them, talking to me on Twitter for 9 years, so I know they do. And I'm excited to be playing with, some really talented young players, and obviously Kat is a tremendous player and very unique, so, I can't even imagine all the things that we're going to be able to do on the floor, and and all the great things that I'm going to do for this community and, to make Minnesota a better place. So thank you guys, and really excited.
Yeah, it's interesting.
We'll open it up to some questions now. We've got a couple of microphones being passed around. If you could state your name and your affiliation before asking your question. Chris, want to get us going?
Chris Hine from the Minneapolis Star-Tribune. Rudy, you said you needed a day or two to kind of think on it. What were you thinking about when you heard that Minnesota was interested? Were you surprised, and kind of how did you analyze how the fit was going to be here?
Surprised. I mean, that definitely wasn't one of the teams at first that we knew was really interested. So it was obviously me and Kat have been going at it for many years, and we're very unique and different players. So definitely I was like, the first time that Buna told me, I was like, can that work? And then I was thinking about it every day. When I was going to bed, I was thinking about it more and more, and then I was like, actually, that's probably the most exciting challenge for me. Pair with a guy like Kat, and in an organization like the Timberwolves that I think really wants to win and is willing to do whatever it takes to win. And I couldn't hope for a better situation, a most exciting situation, and it just happened, and I'm really, really excited to be here.
Do you think it's the differences between you and Carl's games that'll enable you to fit well on both ends of the floor?
For sure, and we're going to be very unique. I don't think there's going to be another team that is going to be able to bring to the table what we're going to bring to the table, and my goal is really to, make Carl even a better player on both ends, and make his life easier and allow him to be even better than he already is. And I think his presence is going to do the same for me. And same with those young guys. I mean, Anthony Edwards, he's been growing and improving year after year, and he's one of the most exciting young players in this league. So I'm really excited to play alongside him and D'Angelo Russell and McDaniels. That's a tremendous defender. So it's just a very unique core of young guys, and a really good coach that complains about my screens all the time. So now we're on the same side. So I'm excited.
John Krasinski here from The Athletic. Rudy, when you look at coming to Minnesota after 9 years in Utah, the only place you had been, what do you anticipate just that transition from one organization that you kind of grew up with to an entirely new and different one? And do you see some excitement in a new challenge that way, and just a newness and a uniqueness to things?
Just a lot of excitement, and obviously Utah is, that's the only team I played for 9 years, and I've had some amazing memories, and I'm really, really grateful for all the time that I spent there and all the great relationships that I've built there and that are going to stay there, and all the, it's my family, and that is never going to change. But having the opportunity to just the challenge, the challenge of coming to a team and try to take that team to the next level, and just discover a new state, discover a new community. It's just a lot of excitement, and it's pretty new to me because I've been in Utah for 9 years, but it's just an amazing moment for me, and every day is going to be, a lot of excitement to meet the new people, see the places in Minnesota, and I love nature too, so it's different than the mountains. It's more lakes, but it's still amazing for me, and I'm just really exciting.
It's Joe Schmidt from Channel 5. Tim, you've only been here a short time, but you already have your legacy. Whatever happens, the outcome of this trade is your legacy. When you pulled the trigger on this trade with all you had to give up, was there any hesitation, or did you just say, now is the window to go for it?
The new David Kahn.
I think there's, you're never certain. It's an inexact science. But when you look at players of Rudy's abilities, they don't become available very often. And I think he's a guy, to Chris's point, I think he's a seamless fit both culturally and on the court in terms of what he can bring to us as a player and as a person. We're trying to develop winning ways, and we're trying to develop into a sustainable team that can enjoy win at the highest level. And he's seen that. He's seen it at the national team. He's obviously multi-time defensive player of the year. This guy's going to be a Hall of Famer. So, I've been in the NBA a long, long time, and there's only been a handful of those types of calls, those types of players that you think can become actionable. Again, we gave up some really good players. We lost some guys that were unbelievably impactful on kind of changing this culture, and we saw how fun last year was. So it's never easy. You don't want to be dismissive of the guys you have to give up. Obviously, a lot of draft capital, but when you get a call like the one we got about Rudy, you pretty quickly realize how unique the situation is, and you want to be as aggressive as possible. And when you look at the collection of players we have, it's there's great depth. Chris is an elite coach, so when you have great depth, elite high-end talent, and you add a guy like Rudy, it's hard not to get excited, and it's hard not to be not overly risk averse and kind of throw your chips in a bit.
Jace Frederick, Pioneer Press. Rudy, you talked about fitting alongside Cat. When you guys went up against one another, you really presented unique challenges for one another. So how much do you think the two of you can kind of continue to raise one another's game, even just in practice on a daily basis?
I think, like I said, I think we both really unique. We both bring different things to the table, and I really think we can complement each other on both ends and make each other better on both ends. And if you would have told me that a year ago, I would tell you that I wouldn't think it would happen. But now that it came to life, like I said, I'm super excited, and and just being able to allow him to be himself even more, to be even more dominant, and keep him out of foul trouble, keep him, also share my knowledge and him share his knowledge. I think it can only be a positive for our team, and I think we're going to be able to do a lot of things. Coach going to be able to do a lot of cool things, and there's a lot of things that we're going to learn on the fly, organically, and just his passing, his shooting, his skill set that's very unique for someone his size. All that for me, I think I'm going to be able to allow him to be even greater, and allow our team to win at the highest level. And the goal is to win a championship, and I came here for that. I didn't come here just to be a good team. I came here to try to take this team to the finals and accomplish that. So I'm going to do whatever I can to help these guys take the next step and help this team take the next step.
Pierre Nugent, Fox 9, right here, Rudy. Salut, bienvenue. What is it going to take to get this team to the next level? You mentioned the next level. In your mind, what does that look like, and what does that require from yourself and the teammates around you now?
I think just keep building great habits, winning habits, and a winning culture. And I think they started doing that last year. I think I played a team that was different than the team that I played the years before, in terms of, their will to win. And even though they swept us the year before. But yeah, their will to win, I felt like was different. And the culture and the way they were approaching the games, I felt like something has changed. And you got to give credit to these guys like Pat Beverly and all these guys that brought some grit to that team. I think my goal is to bring that and also be a leader for these guys and build the habits, and we've talked about it with Coach. That's offensively you got to have fun, and we got a lot of guys that can do a lot of good things offensively, and then build those winning habits defensively and play as a team. Just enjoy each other and enjoy winning.
Dane Miller, Blue Wire. Rudy, in terms of Anthony Edwards and D'Angelo Russell, what do you think you can do to help further unlock their games as players playing next to you?
First of all, get them open. I think the spacing that we get for them with my screening, with my rim gravity when I roll to the basket, and also my passing that I think I'm going to be able to showcase even more this year. All those things I think going to allow them to be even better, and that coupled obviously with the spacing that Cat is going to provide, and I think the way we're going to play, I think they're going to be able to get a lot of more easy looks that they've been able to get the previous years, and just they haven't been throwing a lot of lobs over the last few years, but I think now we're going to work on that, and it's another weapon that I think is really hard to guard, and I'm really excited. There's so many things obviously that we can talk about that we're going to be able to do on the floor, and that's what's going to make us unique, is that we're going to be able to have so many different weapons and so many different ways of playing together, that it's going to be fun.
Britt Robson with MinPost for Coach Finch. You get a guy like Rudy Gobert, obviously some pretty fundamental changes in both the way you play offense and defense. Last year, you prioritized defense in preseason. I'm just wondering if you thought about how you're going to prioritize this preseason with Rudy on board.
Well, I think certainly Rudy's a defensive microcosm unto himself. I think we're going to have to build a system that's flexible enough to be able to take on the different looks that we're going to see. Some of that's going to happen as we go along. Some of it we can prepare for. Offensively, I don't see a whole lot changing, honestly. The way that we play, we stick to our main points. Our philosophy never changes. We think that he fits perfectly inside of what we already do. We feel like he probably can do some things that maybe hasn't been asked to do before. What we love is the dynamic between him and Cat. Will now force teams to choose a little bit more about how they want to guard one or the other. And then we're going to have to figure out, how we exploit that. And that's the fun part. That's what the rest of the summer is going to be like for our staff.
He's been primarily a pick and roll player, a screener. When you say things that he hasn't been doing before, what things are you thinking about?
Well, I think, handling the ball at the top of the floor, in the flow of our offense. We feel that some big-to-big dynamic that Cat's an outstanding passer. And we feel like we can maybe operate in the pocket with both of them and operate in the short roll with both of them. And also just, work on some dynamic spacing, moving them around.
Chris, what did you not like about Rudy's screens?
They look like they hurt. But they were great.
Tim, you touched on it a little bit at the start, but to find an all-NBA level player that wants to be in Minnesota, like how did you kind of investigate that part of it, and how big of a role does that play in the decision to bring him in here?
I think what I found in the league is you want guys that want to be here. It's hard to convince people otherwise. You're kind of fighting an uphill battle if you have to talk them to come and work every day and with a smile on their face. I've watched Rudy play since he was, 16 years old, so I had a familiarity with how much winning meant to him. Super lucky to Boona's been a long-time friend, so just kind of keeping up with him, and obviously being in the same division with Utah, you see him all the time, and you realize how much better he got each and every year. And when we were, a couple weeks ago, we put names on the board of who we thought were elite guys that are difference makers, and it's a very small list. Luckily, we have a couple of those guys in our team. So when you're able to add a difference maker and not, trade a guy in that kind of similar tier, it's so rare. So when we started having those discussions, more specifically, his name kept popping up. We're hugely fortunate that we have Chris as a coach, because Chris is so creative, and he's able to. He was so excited when we talked about the potential addition, and he starts whiteboarding and what it might look like if we were to add Rudy. So collectively, as the discussions developed, we said, we're not going to have many chances to get a guy like this in his prime. Rudy's, obsessed with his body, obsessed with his game. He's such a professional, and how he takes care of himself. You're always trying to project and prognosticate, but it's best guesses, right? We don't know. It's all speculative. But we didn't think we get a call like this for a long time. And the final thing that I think is as impactful as of the obvious tools that Rudy brings is he doesn't inhibit anything we have presently. He makes it better. He augments what we have presently. So when you look at fit, it's not just about talent. It's about kind of developing a team. And when you see Cat and you see D'Lo and you see Ant, these guys, he's just going to make them better without kind of putting a roadblock on some of the natural progression we've seen the last couple of years. So collectively, all those things are unbelievably hard to find. And when we were able to pull the trigger, we were excited to do so.
Hey, Rudy, Darren Wolfson from Channel 5. Alan laid out your accolades. Tim said you're a Hall of Famer. Do you have a sense of why you're sitting here? Why Utah was willing to trade you?
That's a good question. I think, obviously losing Quinn. Quinn was there for 8 years, was a big part of what we were doing. There's sometimes the window for winning is not always big. And then for us in Utah, that's kind of what happened. I think the organization felt like that we had maybe passed that window that we had over the last few years. And I think they're still obviously going to be a very competitive team, but they just felt like with all the assets that they could get with me, that it was better for them to go that way. And and I think it could potentially be a win-win situation when, they also put me in a great situation to win. And for me, that's why I'm really grateful for that. That they put me on a team that I can keep flourishing and hopefully win a championship. And for them, I really hope that they're going to be able to, to get better and better, and hopefully, get to that stage that we were a few years ago, even though we didn't pass the second round, but we were first in the West, and, I think, it doesn't happen often. And So it's never easy, you know. Like Tim say, it's always speculative. You know, you never know what's right, what's wrong, and sometimes you got to make decisions. And you know, that's what they did, and I'm still really grateful for that, and I'm grateful that he put me in a position to win.
That was kind of piggybacking off that, Rudy. You talked about the different ways in which you might be used here and the different talented teammates you have. At this point in your career, is it exciting to come somewhere new and think about new possibilities that maybe didn't exist in the past?
For sure, and it's really exciting, you know. And I'm the type of guy that was thinking early on that it would be cool to spend my whole career in the same place, but I also always wonder how cool it would be to get to a new place and in a new system and a new environment. So it's kind of like, you know, it's whatever happens, it's positive. And once again, I spent 9 amazing years in Utah. We built something that was really unique. And that is never going to go away. You know, even though we didn't win a championship, I think those years were, you know, great years in terms of winning. We won the most games in the last 4 years in the NBA. So it's, even though there's no ring at the end, it's still a pretty cool accomplishment. And now it's like all those years and all that grind is, you know, made me a better player, a better person. And now I get in a new situation when hopefully I can. You know, like I said, take this team to where we want to be, where this team wants to be, and that's really, really exciting.
Chris, I heard the word seamlessly several times on the transition. Is that simplifying it a little bit? I mean, this is going to take a while for everybody to know, you know, how to put this puzzle together a little bit, isn't it?
Well, yeah, there's no shortcutting the work, you know, but we don't think it's an awkward fit at all. You know, every team is different as you put it together every preseason. Oftentimes what you plan for maybe in the off season isn't 100% right. May take 20 games to get it right or to get the right rhythm. You know, it's an 82-game season. Things are going to happen along the way that we're going to have to come up with answers for. But we see from a basketball perspective no reason at all why it won't work.
Anyone else? All right, we'll have a photo opportunity here with Rudy and Tim and Chris.
By the way, he's still, if you didn't know already, he's keeping the number. Yeah, you can see it, 27. He's keeping 27. Kyle Anderson is going to be Gorgie Jang's 5. Or I guess Malik 5. And I don't know if Bryn Forbes has his number yet. I don't even know if they've officially announced Bryn Forbes. Let me see if it's on the team roster. But crazy. How do we feel? I know we've already thought about this, but let me know your thoughts on the trade. Is it a W? Is it an L? Is it an A1? They wouldn't let public come to this. I wanted to go. When's going to be 10? Okay. It is on the team store. They're already sold out of some sizes. Obviously, go to DH Gate if you want the $20 jerseys, or AliExpress might have some.
All right,
too.
that will conclude today's press conference. Thank you to Tim Conley and Chris Finch, and of course, Rudy Gobert. Welcome to the Wolves. Tim and Chris will be available in a media scrum off to my left here in just a matter of moments.
No layman. That means no layman. Sad. So yes, how do we feel? I see Godfrey says L. Z says W. No layman is kind of a W. Or not a W, it's an L, it's an L. But yeah, no, it's interesting. I appreciate everybody that showed up. If you're new here, subscribe. We do this after every single show, after every single game. So we're live for like an hour or 2 or 3 sometimes. Yeah. So some things. One, most importantly, he said McDaniels. Very interesting, and I cannot wait to hear him say McDaniels in that accent more often. 2, I think he's going to look really good in the Timberwolves jersey. The thing I'm most excited for, I think, is the ability for our defenders like McDaniels and Ant to really be aggressive out on the perimeter now, because now when they're waiting, if somebody gets by him, they got Rudy at the rim. Think of the example of, this is perfect. This is the perfect example. Remember, I don't remember what game it was, where Ja hit the game-winning layup against us. Ant gambled for a steal, but Vando was the one back there. That will not be Vando now. That will be Gobert. And Vando was close to blocking it, but Gobert has like a 7'9" wingspan or something like that. It's getting blocked. So one example right there of like a difference. Ant can take more of those gambles. Yeah. Let's see. I'm catching up on chat. A-W, bro, A1. Yes. I think it's gonna be really interesting. I know there's some of you that aren't super pumped for it, and that might be D'Lo related. I don't know, but I'm thinking this is a pretty good thing for us all around. Now we just have to cross our fingers that we stay healthy. We need to stay healthy. Our bench is probably not. Well, our bench is probably pretty good. I mean, we've got Noel, we've got Prince, we've got Brent Forbes. Who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting. I can't think right now straight, but looking pretty good. Yeah, try it now, Ja. By the way, Ja Morant saying that he at a restaurant that he's Black Jesus and now he's just getting credit for that. I'm not for that. He is public enemy number 1. Kyle Anderson, thank you. I was like, who's the one that I forgot? I wasn't super pumped about Kyle, but let's go Wolves. New jerseys coming? I don't think so. But hey, you never know. If you subscribe, you'll have this show up on the screen if I don't break my computer. Boom. Meliquan Smith. I haven't seen you in a long time, so if you're here, shout out. But I appreciate you all for joining. We've got Rudy Gobert highlights on the channel if you haven't already seen them, with audio, unlike the Timberwolves site has. We've got our reaction, me and Ashwin's reaction. We're the 2 co-hosts here. Ja dunked on Beasley hard enough for Tim Connolly to trade him away. Kind of true. Joe Ingles. Yeah, man. Too bad Joe Ingles isn't available. That would be a fun little bench piece. But yeah, that's crazy. Well, that's super fun. I'm really excited. As you can see, Nightbot has also been spamming subscribing along with joining the Discord. We do tier lists. We're probably going to do tier lists next year too. Me and Ashwin are going to have some videos coming out this week. I will be gone next week, but we'll have some videos coming out this week. Let us know what you want to see. You want to see defensive highlights? You want to see breakdowns and things like that? I'm down for it all. My dog's going to jump off my lap. My wife just got home. Oh, gosh. But, yeah. Let's see. Health is the key. So excited for Gobert. He makes everyone better. Just found out this channel. I appreciate that, Brandon. Thank you. Yeah, we got a ton of views on this last video that we did, so we're probably gonna do more like that. Hey, B-Bone, I've seen you in the chat before. I'm glad to see you as a subscriber. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, so check out the highlights. We've got the highlights up. If you haven't already liked the stream, like the stream. Matter now, I guess. But welcome to Must Watch Minnesota Basketball. Holy cow. We've got what is it called? Summer League starting next week. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be really fun. The sad thing is that I might be moving out of Minnesota in October, right before the season opener. So maybe I'll have to stay for the season opener because I feel like that's gonna be really exciting. Hopefully the fans are getting behind this. I think somebody in the chat earlier said something about like people don't understand how underrated Rudy is. I think that's very true. If you look at like the Jazz subreddit, the Jazz Twitter, it's a lot of people with question marks on kind of not necessarily wondering why they traded him, but like just they're sad and confused moving forward. Nice focus blur on that camera, high quality. Thank you. It's actually a Sony A7 III. Who's on the Summer League roster? I think it's Wendell Moore Jr. And then we've got the guy that was supposed to be like a draft stash from Europe someplace. I can't remember. But he's actually going to be on the team apparently. So, yeah. Those are the main ones. McKinley Wright, I think, just went to the Suns, and I'm really bummed about that because I wanted McKinley Wright. Maybe Nathan Knight. He's a 2-way contract, so I don't know if he'll be on the team. Got a lot less exciting when we didn't have Walker Kessler, but that's okay. We can deal with that. Got defensive player of the year, best defensive center in generation. So Italian Ricky Rubio, they call him. Chet was crazy yesterday too. Holy cow. But yeah, people need to stop saying Twin Towers as well. Cat is the same height as Durant, and honestly, it's crazy. Yes, Spagnolo. Thank you, Aston. That's who it was. I couldn't think. Spagnuolo is the one. Isaiah Miller is on the Jazz now too. Yep, I saw that. He was really fun last year. If they have any of those, what are those free events at Target Center for, like, I don't know, dunk, whatever they call them, I can't remember, Dunks After Dark. I'll go to one of those and I'll post some video or maybe stream live from there. Who knows? But yeah, OKC has Josh Giddey to Chet. Wolves have D'Lo to Rudy Gobert. Godfrey, you hate this, don't you? Do you hate Rudy, or do you hate that we kept D'Lo? What is it more? Because I know it's probably both. I can't imagine Utah for the next two. Man, so their basketball team, yeah, it's going to be a struggle. Now, Rudy was saying that he was excited to see some things in Minnesota. I'm telling you, Utah's better. Utah's going to be better for the nature side of things. So I am sorry, Rudy, if you watch this. I'm so sorry. But yeah, Embiid and Rudy dwarf him. Yeah, no, seriously. Because they are actually tall. This might change the NBA game style is going forward. Since the 3 era Golden State is exiting out. Oh, I see what you're saying. The game might be changing soon. Twin Towers, if this works out. Other than Twin Towers, I do think this could work. I think there's this possibility that it could work, and I like it because it's not just going after something that is like the big 3 in Golden State, or I guess you know what I mean, like Clay and Steph. It's not just going out and getting like another shooter or trying to out 3 the Golden State Warriors. This is a different style of basketball. We haven't really seen this since the Spurs with David Robinson and Duncan or something like that. I mean, they're totally different players, but you know what I mean. That's one of the last times we've seen something like that. So I think it could work, and I think that defense that I was talking about earlier, about even think of Towns. Towns is going to be able to play perimeter defense a little bit because Rudy's going to be back there, and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be hate that the Wolves of all teams think they can pull off 2 towers. I've always had no faith in. Yeah, I know you have no faith in D'Lo. That's your thing. 0 teams are built to play against us. Yeah, and I mean, think of it. Like, if we can, with the matchup with the Warriors, it's always going to come down to if they're making threes. Because if they're just going to pull up crazy threes, there's not much any team can do. You just have to. You just have to play some weird defense specifically for them. You just kind of have to hope in ways and just make them go to the places that they don't want to shoot from and hope that they miss. But like offensively, like we're so big, they can't handle it. And think of the Lakers. The Lakers have been trying to be kind of big. They've been signing I don't even know what their roster is right now, but like Dwight Howard, they've got. Didn't they have DeAndre Jordan too? I don't even remember. They had lots of centers. And they just signed Thomas Bryant too, which I'm kind of bummed about because I like Thomas Bryant. But we're big now. We can actually compete against something like that too. So works better than the Cavs because with Mobley. Well, Mobley. I love Mobley. We could have had Mobley. Could have had him. We have a way better lineup than Utah had. Yeah, no, that is true. That is actually an interesting way to look at it, Gerald. We do have. I mean, even with what we gave up, we still have a better lineup than with Rudy now, obviously, than they did with Rudy. That's interesting. We should be better offensively, and I think we're fine. Finch saying that nothing is going to change offensively, I think, is hopefully false. Because, I mean, Rudy's just a different player than we've had, and like, sure, he could play the Vando role way better, but like, I don't know. He's going to be in the dunker spot, but he's actually going to get lobs. You know, we didn't lob to Vando that often. We didn't lob to anybody that often. So we're going to have lobs now. D'Lo's going to have more of a pick and roll partner. Towns is just not the pick and roll partner. I'm not worried about the fit on offense either. I think it's going to be fine. And maybe that's what he means. It's not going to be any different. Is like, hey, we already had Vando in there, who is not really a scorer, so putting Rudy in is going to just be the same, but way better on defense. I don't know if that's what they mean or what. Wolves roster is way better than any of the other Utah roster was. Yeah, you have no spacing now. Who said that? Do people know? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if they said that, that's crazy. Nas caught some of the most lobs. Weird. Yeah, that might be true. We'll be fine with Rudy. Yeah, and Rudy's actually a lob threat. You know, he actually has the ability. He's 7'1", 7'2", or something like that with a 7'9" reach. and like a standing reach of like 10 foot or something. I don't know. It's insane. Oh, it's going to be exciting. I can't wait. We're going to have more content coming out soon. Like I said, if you haven't already subscribed, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to replay your alert, B-Bone. I appreciate you subscribing to the channel. And to all the regulars, you know, we've got the Godfrey's a regular, JJ's a regular, Gerald's a regular, Momo's a regular. Did I say JJ? Yeah. You know, we've got Aston's a regular. Who else? Ashwin obviously is co-host, but Christian Rondo, who we always call Cristiano Ronaldo. You know, we've got them all. We've got everybody here. We got Z. You know, got. I'm just scrolling through here. You know, we've got all of them. Jelson, yes. We need more streams. Hey, we might do some more streams. Mike, I was actually worried this computer wasn't going to work, so it's working today, kind of. Been a little weird, but anyways, Gobert improves the offense by default with his rebounding, and that, Brandon, is exactly what we need. We needed rebounding. Vando was our rebounder in a lot of times, but Gobert is going to be the rebounder, and hopefully Towns doesn't fight him for these rebounds, because we know how Towns did that with Vando. Maybe it'll be better. I think it should be. I mean, Gobert's got a different status than Vando. By the way, shout out Vando. We're going to miss you. Pat Bev, we're going to miss you. Sad to lose him. Anyways, I think that's it for me today. I'm going to go probably take my dog on a walk or something like that. But if you're new here, subscribe. Like I said, we do this after every single game. We'll do some of this offseason. We'll have some more offseason content too. If you haven't checked out the Rudy Gobert highlights and our Rudy Gobert initial reaction, it was quickly after the trade or like a day or something like that. So our thoughts might be different than now, but either way, go check it out. We're going to do the intro as the outro because I miss it so much. Intro as the outro. 52 wins, as Gerald says, or 62 wins maybe now. Stream some 2K. I don't even have the most recent version of 2K. I think the last one I got was 2020. I should stream some 2K maybe. I have to figure out how to do that, but I will. I appreciate that input. Maybe that would be a good offseason thing. 82 wins. Jelson coming in hot. But yes, let's get some Rudies in chat before we leave. Rudy. 62 wins, 82 wins. No, we got it all. But anyways, I appreciate you all showing up, liking the video, subscribing to the channel. I love it all. Next 2K is when I get the Edwards scan. Yes, they need the Edwards scan. Holy cow. Yes, 96 wins total. Hey, B-Bone's actually right. Need a Cam Wolves Rudy rebuild 2K vid. Yes, and like a sim. We should do like a simulation probably. That would make sense. 46 wins, first round exit is same. There's no way it's the same as last year, Godfrey. There's no way. Anyways, okay, that's it. I'm done. Intro as the outro. We will see you sometime soon. Subscribe to find out when. Ring the bell. All right. See y'all.